I'm going to give you a breakdown of the March Madness First Four matchup between the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights and the Prairie View A&M Panthers, and we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Alpha Omega. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to bet on sports like a pro and gain an advantage over the sports books, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. It's that time of year again as March Madness is about to take off. Calm down. We celebrate after we cash tickets here at aosportspicks, not before. As always, the first four games feature lower tier teams fighting to make it to the round of 64. We have two conference tournament winners as Fairleigh Dickinson, the winner of the Northeast tournament, goes up against Prairie View A&M, the winner of the SWAC tournament. Start time is on Tuesday, March 19th at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Alpha Omega Vegas consensus line as of Sunday, March 17th has the Knights laying 1.5 points with the total sitting at 150. As is normally the case in college sports, the smaller the school normally means there is greater value to be had. But why is there value? Because most casual bettors don't have the time to research the smaller schools and therefore don't feel comfortable making a bet on them. As a result, the betting lines remain stagnant for longer periods of time, enabling those with the knowledge like Alpha Omega to gain an advantage and make you money. Let's expand on a few of the factors at play in this handicap. The A&M Panthers can get to the free throw line. Out of all March Madness teams, tiny Prairie View A&M ranks second in terms of drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. The Fairleigh Dickinson Knights defense ranks 28th in terms of lowest defensive free throw rate. While the Knights are slightly above average in terms of committing fouls, the Panthers are elite in drawing them. Advantage, Panthers. According to KenPom ratings, the Knights rank 18th out of all March Madness teams in terms of effective field goal percentage, while the A&M Panthers defense ranks 62nd out of 68 March Madness teams in terms of allowed effective field goal percentage. Effective field goal percentage takes into account the increased importance of the three-point shot and is a more well-rounded measure of offense. However, both teams have strengths from three-point land, but more on that later. Advantage, Knights. The Knights offense may score points, but they also turn the ball over at a ridiculous rate. The Knights offense ranks 62nd out of 68 teams in turnover rate. That puts Fairleigh Dickinson in the lower quartile of all March Madness teams. On the other hand, the Panthers defense caused turnovers. The A&M defense ranks second out of all March Madness teams when it comes to causing turnovers. While this isn't necessarily an appropriate measure of overall defensive prowess, it does tell us that the Knights are reckless on offense and the Panthers defense will make them pay for it. Advantage, Panthers. Offensive rebounds means second opportunities, which means more points scored overall. Fairleigh Dickinson is a below average offensive rebounding team, ranking 43rd out of all March Madness teams. But Prairie View A&M is absolutely atrocious when it comes to defending against the offensive rebound. The Panthers rank 67 out of 68 teams in terms of allowing offensive rebounds. What does this mean? That although the Knights grab offensive rebounds at a slightly below average rate, the Panthers are nearly the worst team in the entire tournament when it comes to offensive rebounding. Advantage, Knights. Remember when I mentioned the significance of the three-point shot for both teams? Take this into account. The Knights offense ranks third overall in terms of made three-pointers. These guys can bomb from the outside. I'm going to let that sit with you for a moment. The only teams in the tournament that drain more threes than Fairleigh Dickinson are Wofford and Virginia. That's an interesting piece of information regardless of where you land on the outcome. Now, before you go completely square and advance the Knights into the round of 64, let me give you another piece of information. Prairie View A&M ranks 10th out of all March Madness teams in terms of three-point defense. So you have a top 5 offensive three-point shooting team and a top 10 defensive three-point defending team. An argument could be made that defense is generally more consistent than offense, especially from the three-point line, but this ends in a stalemate. If you're interested in the other March 19th first four game where the Belmont Bruins take on the Temple Owls, I'm going to put a link to that video right up here. and I really recommend that you watch it because the more information you have, the easier it is to make money betting this March. Okay boys, full disclosure. While I do provide a lot of useful info in these videos, if you really want to take your sports betting to the next level, you have to sign up with me, Alpha Omega. Go to aosportspicks.com and sign up for a package. And if you want to learn more about betting on sports like a pro and gaining an edge over the sports books, start now by hitting the round subscribe icon so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.